Hello, guys. I hope you're all doing really well today. My name is George Velasquez, and today I'll be talking about my experiment on sharks. So, one of the reasons why I decided to do my research on sharks is because sharks are the apex predator of the ocean, which means that they are very important. So, even from the smallest of algae to tuna to mahi mahis to squids, they're all dependent on sharks in some ways. Even I consider us humans to be dependent on sharks in some ways. So one of my favorite things to do is to go on the ocean, on the boat, or fishing, spear fishing, diving. So I try to do that as much as I can and as long as the weather is good. And I have witnessed with my own eyes many injustices with sharks, just such as fishermen catching sharks and instead of throwing them back in the ocean as quick as possible so that they could survive, they just out of hatred and little knowledge and little awareness, they just kill the sharks. And this is something that I have tried to educate the people that I know on, but still there's too many people out there that need to be educated on this. And for example, here on the top left, you can see a whale shark, which is the biggest species of shark in the world. And you can see that in the caudal fin over here in the back, the tail fin, it's being damaged by boat propellers and things like this. The interactions with of humans with sharks. That's one of the things that has inspired me to do this research, which focuses a lot on how human interactions affect sharks. So for my research, I decided to do it on the Bimini Island, which is located on the Bahamas. More specifically, I plan on doing it on the North Bimini Island, which also includes the East Bimini, and the South. I would not be doing my research there. It's only on the North part. So one of the reasons why I also decided to do it on the North Bimini Island is because it is a relatively small part of the Bahamas. So I would not be my experiment would not be interacting with the whole country, but instead just a very small part of the Bahamas, which is the Bimini Island. Also, it is very close to Florida, which is only about 50 to 60 miles from Miami. So it always takes me about 2 hours to get there by boat. So it is pretty easy for me and the team to get there as many times as possible. Um, so also it is surrounded by sharks. So if there's one place in the world where I want to do my research on sharks, it's the Bimini Island because it has many types of sharks from lemon sharks to bull sharks to white tips, black tips, tiger sharks, bull sharks. It has many sharks all around. Also, it is huge on boating activity. So the main focus of my experiment is to see how boating and that interaction of fishermen affect sharks. So the north part of Bimini, there's a lot of boats in there, so this will be very good for my experiment. Not as much as the south. The South Bimini is a more tranquil or more relaxed area of the Bimini. Also, the economics. Um, so the Bahamas does take care of the environment, not through the government. The government hires private organizations around the world, and then they take care of managing all the rules and protecting the environment. So I'll be working with them for them to put these laws that you're gonna see in the next slide. So the hypothesis of my experiment includes that sharks will start showing up more frequently and in larger masses to the inshore lines as humans disappear from coastal environments. So basically, I want to be proving that if all boating and fishing and all those interactions in the shallow areas, the inshore, the coastal lines, if all those human interactions disappeared, sharks will start showing up more closely into to the inshore because humans will not be there to bother them. And so, in one of the ways in which I would proceed to do this environment is to try to prohibit boats to go on the water. Also, I'll be putting sensors in the all around the North Bimini area. So I'll be collecting data of the whole circumference of the North Bimini, and I'll be collecting the data of how many sharks go into the sensor area and how many sharks go outside the sensor area for 1 year. So these data will let me know how many new sharks have entered the circumference after human interaction stops. So I think that my results will be very good for science and humankind and the whole world and the oceans, because this way we're gonna know if sharks are really affected by humans in some ways, and especially boaters. And also because I believe that there has been no actual evidence of something like this happening, of humans just disappearing and see how sharks react. We have something similar. When COVID arrived, boaters were not allowed to go on the water, and data has shown that many species such as turtles and other kinds of fish, they have shown up more frequently to the coastal areas. And actually, right when boaters were allowed to go on the water, I did notice many more turtles in the water. So I think that this experiment is very much needed.